What's up, everyone? It's a Pickle coming at you with some tips and tricks to playing solo. If you like what you see, subscribe, drop a like, and I'll keep up with more content. Now, Lifeline isn't a legend I play often, but I've been working on diversifying my play. That way I can be ready for, any situation that comes my way. I hope this video helps you out in some form or another. So let's jump right into this. Now, in this match right here, I actually didn't have a team, so I got stuck just playing by myself. One thing that I do recommend for people who are dropping solo is drop early and find a place where you can loot up before you have to fight a whole squad. Now, I know some people will say, that's not the way to go about it. Drop into Skull Town, try and get as many kills as possible. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to find your first squad to basically third party. That way you can loot up, get the weapons you want before you go and face somebody who might have better loot than you. Now, what I did here was I wanted to drop into this little center section right above bunker, but I did see that there was a team going there. So I decided to kind of veer off of my path because this place right over here next to the pit, actually, if you didn't know, has the highest probability for receiving a gold item in it than any other place in the map. So usually when I drop solo, I like to drop here or out in front of bunker. Now, definitely your primary goal is to loot as fast as possible. You want to get as much stuff in your inventory as possible. Some people just run around and they'll grab everything. Me, I'm a little bit more picky choosy. I will grab as much stuff as I can possibly see, but if I know I'm not going to need it, I won't worry about picking it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab as much loot. Hopefully I can get a really good gun set up before I have to fight someone. Although I do hear some people running around, so I'm kind of being a little bit cautious because I'm not sure exactly... Oh, there's the gold item right there. But I'm not sure exactly where they dropped. So I do hear some fighting. It's probably over in runoff, but... So what I do every single time I check this area is I always go to pit. There's the people that I heard. There was a Cossack around here. So I'm going to try and sneak. Well, probably the best bet isn't to sneak around in here just because the Cossack traps are kind of set in the perfect place to where I can't quite sneak by them without them going off, and I don't want to alert the other team to my presence. Now, what I can probably guarantee is that team that dropped in the middle, they saw me as probably a solo player, and they're right here. Now, I do have a really good shield setup, but it's probably not best to start a fight right now, just because you never know what they're going to get. I only have, a clip and a half in my Havoc right now. I got some ammo in my RE45, but I don't really feel prepared 100% to fight these guys. So I'm going to back off, let them come to me, see what kind of happens. Doesn't really look like they're going to chase too hard, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually skip out on them because I hear a fight going on over in slums. So what I want to do is I want to go third party this fight. Third partying is the best way to actually play solo because you don't have to worry about fighting a whole squad by yourself. Now I catch these guys while they're resin, which is freaking great. So what do? I get them down as fast as possible. One thing you want to make sure you do consistently is when you kill somebody, you down them entirely, especially if you're a solo player going for a 20 bomb. If you're going for a 20 bomb, you want to get people down and you want to get them killed, leave maybe one teammate alive so they can get some reses up. Now this guy right here was being a little finicky and my aim was a bit off with the RE45, but I did manage to squeeze this one out with a punch. Now, another super important thing is to find your gun setup. You want to know what guns you want to run. That way you're not getting caught with bad loot. Now thankfully one of my favorite guns in this game is the G7 Scout, and I'm pretty sure right here in one of these boxes I actually find one. Now I used to run the Wingman a lot, but I realized that the G7 it's got so much in its clip that it doesn't necessarily matter whether or not you have an extended mag on it. You can take somebody down who already has level 3 or level 4 armor with it, even if you don't have an extended mag on it, especially because you get 10 rounds inside of that clip. You're doing almost as much damage as a Wingman. The stability's a little bit better than shooting off at a Wingman. And I actually got a pretty cool skin on this thing from that box, it looks like. Now, one thing you definitely want to make sure you do when you're playing solo is to heal yourself. It is the most important thing. If you take a shot, you heal yourself. If you take a shot, you heal yourself. You never want to be caught healing yourself entirely. It's one thing to have a full squad with you, so you know you can kind of dip out and they can pick up a little bit of the slack as you heal up. But one thing you want to make sure you do is you never want to get caught not healing yourself if you have an opportunity. So another trick that I find to playing solo is actually coming up right here. It's very important. Always get grenades. You always want to hold some form of grenade, whether it be arc stars, whether it's frag grenades. The thermites, you know, that's kind of a personal choice for you if you like to run the thermites. I'm not a big thermite fan, but I do love the arc stars. So what I always try and do when I'm playing solo is I hold almost as many grenades as I possibly can without taking away from my heals and my ammunition. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually trying to listen for a squad fighting in. I know there's a dropship over next to me, so I'm going to take this balloon right here and drop in over next to the dropship. Now, I've never tried to land up here, but I did find out that it does not work unless you land on that ledge down there in the bottom. It just kind of pushes you off. Now, this situation right here is probably one of the best situations to explain why you definitely want to hold as many grenades as possible, because I am going to come up on some squads over here who are fighting to get up on the dropship. Hit them with some long range with that G7 scout. Unfortunately, I believe this guy has a G7 too, so he's just kind of popping me. See that right there? Definitely heal often. I only took one shot or a couple shots, but I'm going to make sure that I heal that way. No matter what, I always have full shields. Get some shots on him. Get him kind of running. That guy's definitely got a G7 and he's popping me with it. You know, heal up. One thing you always want to make sure you're doing is watching your back. This is why grenades are so important right here. Easy peasy. There's 3 kills right there just with a whole bunch of grenades. That guy's got a triple take, so I probably won't be able to fight him quite yet. Now, when you engage people, one thing you want to always make sure you do is you want to always make sure you're watching your back. I really like to get as many kills as I can possibly muster up in a game, you know. Winning isn't quite everything for me just because I've already hit max level, so what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get as many kills as possible with all of my characters. So sometimes I get a little bit greedy about what I want to do, but I gotta check every gold crate that I see. This one thankfully had a turbocharger, which was perfect for my Havoc. This guy right here who's shooting at me with that longbow is really not hitting his shots too well, but I'm in a decent amount of cover. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him think that I'm running away, and I'm actually going to circle around. Now, one thing I realized while I'm circling around is there's a bloodhound right over here. At first, I thought he was just a single person, so I was like, alright, I'm going to go ahead and engage. Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to where his teammates actually were, but I was able to get him down. Started getting shot from behind. Now, this fight right here actually gets a little bit dicey with this squad, but the best thing about it is they came at me one at a time, which is your bread and butter for playing solo. People who come at you one at a time. Here's a good example of taking down the people that you kill. You want to put them on the ground and you want to kill them as fast as possible. Now I see his other teammate coming up on me, Pathfinder right there. Now I did miss a few shots right there, but heal up whenever you possibly can. And we'll go ahead and take this guy down right here. Purple armor. This is one of the main reasons why I really love Lifeline, because she's got this heal drone right here. There's the other one right there. Almost got me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust a Phoenix hit right here so I can get right back into the action as fast as possible. Now I want to keep peeking out to make sure I know exactly where this person is. And then I'm going to lay into him with my G7. Boom, there goes the whole squad. Now this is extremely important as well. The gold backpack is going to be one of your best items that you can find when you are playing solo. If you can keep distance from the enemies and you can heal faster than they can kill you, then you're going to be in a really good spot. Now right here there was only 2 squads left. I heard them fighting. They were over here in this corner spot next to the dropship, so I'm going to go in and push this as hard as possible and hope that they didn't get a chance to revive any of their teammates. I only see 2 of them in there, but there could be a third one somewhere. So now that I got this gold backpack, I can go ahead and heal really, really quick. Get all healed up here. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure that I finish off this person that I down. I did see that Pathfinder kind of take off out to the side. At this point in time, now I'm thinking there's only a 2-man squad here at the very end. So my chances of winning this are very likely. I just got to make sure that I don't let this guy pop me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get towards the inside of the ring. That way he's got to come to me when the storm starts coming in. So now we got the storm coming in right here. I see him up here on the dropship. I'm going to get him as many times as possible. Now when he does escape from this dropship, I am going to apologize for the bad aim. I usually don't run the Havoc, although I saw that turbocharger, so I couldn't say no to it, especially because I know the Havoc with the turbocharger can be a pretty broken gun, especially from a hip fire at close range. I'm going to let this guy kind of skirt past. This was bad. I was shooting over his head the whole entire time. Now, I could have kept chasing him, but instead I wanted to try and gain an angle on him, really. One thing I don't like to do is be predictable. I don't want them to know where I'm going and what I'm doing. So now I'm going to come up here and get high ground on this last guy. You know, the ring's not closing right here, but I know that I can get high ground on him because it's very important when you're playing solo to make sure that you have high ground on some of your opponents, especially if you're squaring off against a full team. Now, I see him over there on that roof. I'm gonna give him a couple pops. Now this is also very important. It goes along the lines of predictability. He knows that I'm going to be standing right here, or at least he thinks he knows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle around right here, because he can't see me. And you'll see right here, he pops that zip line up there thinking that that's where I'm going to be. He's going to go up there and, you know, take that fight close quarters. I don't know what guns he's packing as a secondary, so I want to make sure that I keep that distance from him. But there you go. There's some tips and tricks to helping you play solo. I hope this helps you guys out. You know, once again, drop a like, subscribe, and if you like my content, I'll start posting some more. Other than that, you guys have a good one.